All right, before we get into this next video, just letting everyone know that the manufacturer open houses are April 26th and 27th in Swanton. I'll be at the Leader H2O facility both days. The list of classes just came out. I'll put it in the description down below. There'll be a link to it of what they're going to have for seminars. You're going to be able to tour the factory where they produce the pans and stuff like that, as well as the tubing extruder. They're going to have guided tours for that stuff. I'll be there. Then Friday night, I'm going to be at Twiggs Pub in St. Albans. It's right on like the main drag there for dinner and beers. People want to hang out, chew the fat, do whatever. Aaron and I will be there for dinner and then hanging out probably for a few hours. So that's where we'll be for open house in Swanton. Make sure you come, say hi. All right, morning everyone. So today is Wednesday after Maple Weekend. I've got a video that went out that kind of goes through setting up for Maple Weekend and kind of some of the stuff that goes into that. Not my best work with a video, but that's because there's just so much work to do that filming takes a backseat to that. But and then I was supposed to have one of the guys from work come out and he was going to do some filming for me on Saturday, Maple Weekend, but well, the weather sucked. It started snowing before we opened. We got like 3 inches of snow in the morning, and then by 1 o'clock it started sleeting. So he didn't come out and film. I didn't film because we were steady, but we weren't crazy busy to say the least. And then once the sleet started, it went to hell in a handbasket that the roads were terrible and people just didn't come out. We had a decent turnout. We were way down in sales by like 3/4. Then on Saturday night, I was bottling syrup. It was still sleeting. I had hauled some sap, and I had a big 20 by 30 tent collapse because of the sleet. I'd been out knocking the sleet off it, and I just didn't keep up because it got bad. So that was a disaster. Then that next morning, I got up at 4:30, started plowing, and we had like 3 inches of snow covered by 3 inches of sleet that was packed on, and you couldn't break through it. It was like damn cement. So I had to drive over everything with the tractor, break it up. I was able to plow it off then and get it cleaned up. I had a sand truck lined up. He came in, gave me a shot of sand. Just after he left, everybody started showing up. We got the tent off the tables, got that all straightened around and just hucked off to the side, and we were able to open just in time for Sunday. Sales on Sunday were good, but down. So we ended the entire weekend down 50% from last year. So not the ideal Maple Weekend, but everything was 100% weather-based. We didn't get any ice, but in Portland, South Portland, along the coast, basically the whole coast, they got like 1 inch of ice. People didn't have power. Trees were down everywhere, trees on cars, trees on houses. It was a damn disaster around here. We got lucky. Our power never even flickered, and everything got cleaned up, and it was a good day. I mean, the weather was perfect, just people couldn't get here. They couldn't get out of their driveways with the cement that was on the ground. Didn't have power. I get it. I really do. And then the last 2 days has been trying to get picked up. It's been a challenge to get picked up. That's for sure. Just the weather yesterday and today is cruddy, so I didn't want to haul stuff and get it all crap. So I've been trying to do that. But woke up this morning, monitor shows the Big Woods has got a lot of sap. I knew it had about half a tank yesterday in the evening when I checked it. But I'm gonna go get a load now, go home. I'm gonna bottle some syrup today from last year, some Very Dark. We went through a bunch of that this weekend. Get that bottled up today, and then we're gonna make some syrup tonight. Again, we're getting close to the end. We'll see. Tonight will really kind of tell the tale of how long it's gonna be until we're done. But get a load of sap now. Yeah, I'm glad I got here when I did. This thing's about ready to overflow. And it doesn't look like terrible sap, so I better get a load on. It's only like 35 degrees right now, but it looks like the sap is cranking in. It looked like the releaser dump toy spot was just messing around there, so I'm gonna have to go down and check that. Doesn't that figure? The pump just ran out of gas. I knew it was close this morning, and well, I chose to not bring gas, but I'll get the emergency can in the truck that we'll throw in there. There's my cue to go down. Yeah, this sap is cranking in because that releaser's dumping again already, so I'm gonna go check. Yeah, it's 35 degrees out right now and running like that. That means when it warms up this afternoon, these things are gonna let loose, and as John says, it's gonna be boy band crazy, which is good because we need some more sap. I'm almost positive the drain's open because we cleaned the tank the other day, and John was doing that, or Luke, I guess. I don't think it got closed, so as always, run down and check that. Yeah, it was open. While I'm dumping that tank, I figured I better walk down here and check this tank down back because it, well, we all know it's not big enough, and when I got down here, not big enough. It's overflowing, so I went back up, get the pump, get the brush, we'll get this thing cleaned out, and who knows how long. I mean, probably at least overnight. Now it's not even 10 o'clock and I'm already calling an audible. Not gonna be bottling syrup out of that barrel from last year. I forgot I've got a little bit left from what we made on Sunday. I've got to get that taken care of, but looking at monitors now, we've got a ton of sap and I need to be able to get through all that. So that is going to really dampen the time that I've got to deal with that syrup. So I'm gonna skip that. Yeah, it's gonna be a busy day and probably not enough time as always. But don't worry, I got snacks, I got nutty bars, but we're out of high test Pessy, so I had to go to a water, which I'm not really excited about. Look at this tank. This thing is almost full. Let's see if I can get the snow off it. Come on. So we're going to be overcast for a couple days now. Look, I mean, it was overcast yesterday. Today it's trying to get bright, but it's not really going to. And then tomorrow is supposed to be cruddy too. So I changed the battery at the hill when I was getting that sap, brought it home, stuck it on the charger. It was at like 11 point something volts. And now I'm here looking at this one. This one's at 11.7. So when I come back tonight to get the rest of this sap, I'll change this battery. And I'm probably gonna have to change them, well, at least tomorrow too, because I don't think we're gonna make any power. I mean, it says it's making a little bit, but it's not gonna make enough to get this battery back in shape, that's for sure. Tell it's been a little while since I've hauled these tanks. They're all pretty cruddy looking on the bottom, but get them cleaned up this morning and that should make a huge difference. Sap quality will come back up and keep making some syrup. So this is that syrup that we made Sunday Maple Weekend. It's pretty dark looking stuff because we really just sat there and simmered and it had been in there like all weekend. So that'll probably end up being a very dark, if not right on the edge of a dark, but it's got some decent flavor still. Raw sap tank's almost full. I brought home like another 500, I think I brought home. So there's definitely not enough room. So I'm gonna kick the RO on, get this stepping on because I'm definitely gonna have probably a load and a partial out of the big woods. And then I'll get the rest of the woods too, just to clean everything up today and then we can start over. Permeate's going where it's supposed to. Concentrate's coming out back into the raw sap tank. That means that I've got all the valves in the right spot. So now it's just a matter of waiting for that to finish warming up, get this stuff filtered, and bottle some syrup. Now I'm draining my syrup pan because Sunday the guys were boiling and they hadn't done anything wrong, but I looked down and I saw a drop of syrup sitting underneath the draw-off box on the left side of the rig. And I'm like, that shouldn't be there. Cleaned it off and it got looking, and what's happened is the pan is cracked around that fitting, so it's dripping out of there. So luckily there's a spare pan sitting out back, so I'm gonna get this thing drained, get it out, get it washed out as best I can. I'll probably soak it and try and get it as clean as I can, then see about getting this thing fixed. But I mean, it would get me by if I had to right now, but as Nate Bissell says, the only time syrup isn't good is when it's on the floor. So we gotta prevent that. So we're gonna get this cleaned up and we'll just go to the spare pan. Probably a good thing I'm doing this. I would have been at least switching sides today, but looking in, there is a ton of sand down in here that where we didn't have a lot of flow going through this. We were just idling for the weekend. It could have made a real mess if we weren't changing it today. But the guys had said they'd been struggling with drawing off all day, chasing the temperature around. It was light, it was heavy. Well, they made some light stuff. It's sitting at 60 and it should be at like 61 and a half. So I guess I gotta boil it a little bit, give it some more water. That's not the ideal fix, and it's the second time I've had to do it, but I'm gonna take this thing apart, at least the sides, well, probably the whole thing, and re-brick it this year anyways, because the insulation's getting more. I think it's 3 years or 4 years that we're on the same insulation, so it's about due anyways, where it's exposed and it gets whacked with wood every now and then, so it's about due. Pan's changed. Yeah, not my favorite thing in the world to do is dirty a second pan, but it is what it is this year. I did end up blending some syrup in here. I had a blue 5-gallon jug that we were using this weekend that was about half full, and I didn't really have a use for it. So what I did is I took and I blended it into this syrup. That way I can get that stuff cleaned up and not waste it. And it's gonna be a really nice dark syrup. So this stuff's grading at a dark syrup and it tastes damn good. So pretty happy with this, but I'm just putting in half gallons because we sold out of those in everything but very dark this weekend. So I got to get the half gallons replenished because we've been selling a lot more half gallons than we have a lot of the other sizes. I mean, obviously quarts are always popular, but half gallons have really taken off and we got to keep those stocked up. That smoke and I can hear the pump. There's an issue in here. So I guess I get to go for a hike that I wasn't planning on. I was hoping to just get a load of sap, but at first glance, the B system appears good. I'm trying to do a quick one because I just remembered that I left the RO on, so I want to get in and get this stuff found real quick. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time because I think it's a big leak. Got it. It's on this main. I can hear it, so hopefully it's close. It's not on C2. That's my usual go-to spot, but it's up here. I can kind of get in that. I think I see it. I think I get a drop off up here. Got it. All right, my battery died when I was up in the woods, and I had found 2 drops that were, oh great, I just got soaked, that's awesome. Found 2 drops that were pulled off, got those fixed, vacuum's back in shape now. I just went and hauled the 2 small woods, took the oldest to dance, and now I'll get the rest of this big woods sap. That'll start feeding the head tank. Probably ought to see what we're putting up there though. 10 plus, because it's not even reading on the hydrometer anymore. Perfect. Well, I mean, mostly from today. Yeah. $2,500 today. I thought we get $2,500 most of that. Well, it's a bunch of days. It's since some of it's a little while longer, you know. Getting there now. This has been spinning. We're making like 10+%. Been on the overflow for I don't know how long. It's been a while. But we ended up with 2,500 gallons today. That's the most we've ever had to get through in a day. There is a little bit more down back, but I'm going to save that because the youngest class is coming tomorrow for a tour. So I've got to have enough sap. So between there and the big woods, I should have enough sap to get through that tour. But I'm just fighting with this thing tonight, trying to get the old raw sap pushed out of it. It's using a ton of defoamer. You can definitely tell that it's end of the season sap and it's been sitting for a while, but it tastes great, so that's really all that matters. These auto dripper defoamers, they're a pain in the ass. So we end up adding a little bit because you just can't get those things to keep up and the adjustments don't work. Those things suck. After getting through that old sap, we're into the new stuff today. The syrup's lightened up thanks to the bubbler. Definitely a dark. Oh man, that get your eyebrows? Nice job, Michael. You tried to kill him. You tried to kill him. I saw it. They tried to kill Terry. I saw it. So of course last night the battery dies on the GoPro before we finished up oiling. We made like 20 gallons of amazing syrup. That stuff was just, oh, it was really good. But yeah, Grampy tried killing Terry, you know, the usual shenanigans in a sugar house. We busted his balls about it, and well, it was a good night. So good times, good friends in the sugar house as always, but we'll see you guys in the next one.